Welcome back to Total Spotfest. I am JJ Brownlee. That is Jamie Faulkner. We are coming back at you with a very special episode here as we wrap up another pay-per-view weekend. But above and beyond that, even better than what happened this past weekend, we have an awesome interview we did with one of the members of the ownership group of Journey Pro KC, Mr. DJ Stewart. Finally got our internet issues ironed out, hooked up, got together, had a great interview with DJ. So we're going to get that to you in just a few minutes. We're going to go over pay-per-views from this weekend, Survivor Series. We got a belt on the line. Can I retain my title? We shall see. We're also going to talk about Impact's Turning Point. Pretty awesome stuff happening over there. So welcome. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate it. If you're checking us out on YouTube, give a comment down below. Hit the like button while you're down there. Feel free to subscribe if you want to hear more. Listen to us on your favorite podcast provider. You can always get in touch with us on Twitter at TotalSpotFest, or check us out on our website, www.totalspotfest.com. Boom.
Boom.
Budge. Oh man, feeling a little loopy here, but that's okay. We got a short work week. Holiday coming up.
Yeah.
So yeah, how you been, man?
I'm tired. I've been up since 5:30 this morning, since my wife is doing clinicals. It's her last clinicals of the semester, so
that's good.
That's really good for me. I'm excited for her, but really happy for me. So it means I don't have to wake up at 5:30 anymore.
5:30. Plus, we have another manager in our department is out on paternity leave. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Paul. I think that tomorrow, it might have been today. I was hoping they would give birth today.
We will know, as in Tuesday or Wednesday.
So shout out to Paul. Having his first baby, but yeah, just a little extra work there. So, hey, it's that time of year. Anywho, we're going to get right to it. Like I said, we got an interview coming up here with DJ. We'll talk about that momentarily. But I do want to start off talking about the better, I would say, of the pay-per-views this weekend. That was from Impact. So Impact had one of their little jobber pay-per-views. You know, it was actually live. It wasn't a pre-recorded thing. It was actually live in Vegas. And they announced that their next upcoming little pay-per-view, and I can't remember the title. I didn't write it down either. But it's actually going to be on the road. I think it's in Nashville or something like that. So they're back to kind of doing more traveling. I know Hard to Kill, their big pay-per-view for January, when our titles will be on the line again, is in Texas, is in Dallas. So good for Impact getting out there and moving around. They were getting, I didn't have a problem with them and, the whole static location, the studios in Nashville, but it's good to see them move around a little bit. Get that variety.
Yeah, get some live crowds going.
Yeah. Now, I know that they had, and we'll talk about this on Thursday as always, but their numbers were up for the Go Home show quite a bit. So that was good. The pay-per-view itself was very enjoyable. It's a continuation and culmination of a lot of storylines that are kind of left over from Bound for Glory. So, start off Chris Sabin versus Ace Austin. Wow. Words. Chris Sabin and Ace Austin. Sabin got the victory there. They've been having a good little feud going back and forth. You had Violent by Design versus Rhino and Heath. There's still a little fallout with the Rhino's whole decision there. Eric Young, though, being featured in this. Eric Young recently was cleared fully, so he's been back wrestling. It's great to see EY in the ring, because as good as he is on the mic and kind of, spearheading Violent by Design, just like seeing EY in that brutal violence in the ring.
Agreed.
Violent by Design won that. You had Rich Swann beat VSK. It was supposed to be Brian Myers, but he didn't get medically cleared. Apparently he had some liver enzyme levels were high, which could mean a lot of different things, But, so anyway, so VSK versus Rich Swann in a short but kind of, enjoyable, VSK I think is underrated. He he was really nothing more than an extra when he appeared in the few times in AEW. I know him from the Indies, and he's had some ridiculous matches in different indie promotions. I think it's Pro Wrestling Guerrillas he's been in, and freelance and other things. So, anywho, that was enjoyable. You had Matt Cardona versus W. Morrissey in a story that in a match that I would have put a pin in just because. They're definitely popping up Cardona to main card level. Morrissey still has an unholy alliance of sorts with Moose. Moose actually came out causing interference to get the win for Morrissey. And it's very interesting. Of course, Cardona did come out in an Effie jacket. A fully studded, bright pink leather jacket.
Nice.
And for those of you not following along with GCW, their feud is glorious, and it involves Chelsea Green as well. It's great. Chelsea Green actually contended for the Digital Media Championship, or whatever the fuck that's called, on the pre-show. She lost to Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace defended that, but she did defend, did go up for it. Then you had the X Division, which was a triple threat match. Steve Macklin had beat Laredo Kid on Impact last week to make this a triple threat match. And he kept going on about, I've never been pinned, I've never submitted. I may have lost, the X Division match at Bound for Glory, but you didn't beat me. So Trey Miguel's making it a point that he wants to beat Steve to shut him the hell up, right?
Yeah.
So Laredo Kid, Steve Macklin, Trey Miguel. Good little back and forth. It was very interesting because Macklin is not really what you classify as an X Division guy. He's not a flippy, spinny shit.
Oh, no, not at all.
So you had two people that very much are in him trying to buck the trend. So it made an interesting juxtaposition of style for the match. It comes down at the end. Macklin does a move on Laredo Kid and goes for the pin. And then while he's going in for the pin, Miguel does the top rope Meteora dive onto Macklin and then picks both their legs up and basically is covering both of them, more or less. Macklin kicks up at the last second, but because he's still covering both people, he gets the pinfall victory. Technically, it's over Laredo Kid, though. And Macklin just starts laughing and saying, you didn't beat me the whole time. So
setting up hard to kill.
They are, and they're giving Macklin character depth, which is, he came in just was the guy who just beat the fuck out of some extra every week, right?
Goldberg.
And then, you might wonder, it doesn't really fit with this X Division, does it? But it does because of this juxtaposition. I like this. And I think it's good for Miguel, too, because it gives him something fresh and new. So, that was lots of women's stuff going on because Impact does women's wrestling right. You had the Inspiration successfully defended against Decay, doing regular Inspiration, iconic sort of stuff. So that was gloriousness. And you had Mickie James defending against Mercedes Martinez. And this was a very good match. Mercedes looked great. Mercedes is being all over the place. I think she's challenging Thunder Rosa for a Warrior Wrestling Championship coming up here, and get yourself booked. So just goes to show all those who once again have been released. We'll talk about that on Thursday as well, as more names have been released. That there are options out there, but came down at the end. Mickie James got the victory. A good hard-fought battle, and then immediately after the bell rang, here comes Deonna Purrazzo, just viciously beating the living shit out of Mickie. It was good to see that. So Deonna came out, just hammering at her, and then puts her in the Venus de Milo, and then picks her up, does her Queen's Gambit pile driver, and then just no F's given. Deonna Purrazzo looks great, and she says she deserves a rematch. She wants it at Hard to Kill. Scott D'Amore grants it, so that's going to happen. We talked about this when Mickie got the title. What now? What then? Well, it appears as though it was just that kind of little break, right? I feel like give it to her, give her a little prop, give Deanna a break. Now give it back to Deanna so that breaks up her title. Right? So you had Bullet Club versus Good Brothers in a surprisingly short match. This was like all of 3 minutes at that, and Good Brothers won by trickery. Yeah. It was interesting. El Phantasmo wasn't there.
Okay. So
this was live. I think he was already back in or heading to or back in Japan.
So is Chris Bay and Hikuleo?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is fine, but I don't know. I feel like they have a decent number of tag teams, but it feels like their tag team division is just getting a little stagnant, you know?
It is. I mean, it's just the Good Brothers, basically.
Yeah, Good Brothers just keep winning no matter what, and and then what do you do? Fin Juice, oh, you guys lost. Bullet Club, oh, you guys lost. Fin Juice and Bullet Club, you guys lost.
Yeah.
Fin Juice, it's like, come on, you got Violent by Design, you got Heath and Rhino, you've got Willie Mack and Rich Swann, you've got options there.
You do, but they just want to keep it on the Good Brothers in order to keep the Good Brothers happy, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway, that's my one complaint about the pay-per-view of all the matches was that one, just kind of like, whatever. So immediately after that, though, the good stuff started happening.
Okay.
And I say that saying there's a lot of good matches. Like I said, the Mickie James match was excellent. So Josh Alexander comes out.
Oh, God.
He's not in a match. And he talks about that. And, going off on Moose and this and that, and how he's vowing to come after him. He will not rest until he gets his redemption shot at Moose and all this stuff. And he's interrupted by Jonah.
Beautiful.
Jonah, the former Bronson Reed, for those of you not familiar, making his official Impact debut. Yes, the whole, the claw! No, I don't know. But he comes out. You hear his music, and Alexander's looking, and he jumps him from behind and just goes to town waylaying him. Gets him down, and then does 5 or 6 running sentons that he does on him, and then goes up to the top rope and does his splash. And now Alexander's got color, and he's coughing up blood, fake blood, capsule, whatever. But oh my God, he's got internal bleeding. And then all the refs come up, and he goes up to the top rope again, and almost splashes everybody all in one breath. The refs barely got out of the way, splashed him again, and then just does this little claw, and he's out. And it's that's how you make an entrance. That's how you make an impact. Because he got involved and jumped Moose at the New Japan show 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. So everyone's like, oh, he's going to be face going up against Moose. No.
No.
No. I love this. I love because we've long said that was one of the biggest injustices of all the past 6 months of WWE releases was Jonah Bronson Reed, right? You give all this push, he's naturally over, it gets all this stuff, and cut his legs out from under him, but he's got such a future and he's showing it. So he's an Impact. He's good to go. So and there's already been some interesting retweeting back and forth between him and the Inspiration, who their friends are all Australian. So
yeah.
I would like to see that. But we jump ahead. So the good news is that you're going to have Jonah and Josh Alexander, I'm guessing, at Hard to Kill. So
I'm in on that.
Yes, please.
Ooh, that's a
in the night with the top. Go ahead.
That's a good one. Think about it.
Yeah.
Who's gonna win that?
Yes.
I gotta think about that because either Megan retains or I'm sorry, I retain. It's my belt.
It's your belt. You have a belt. Yes.
Sorry, it's my belt.
You've been jobbing for Megan for so long, you forget you have your own title.
Yes, that's true.
So we'll have to see because I'm all about seeing that match. That Alexander had put nothing but bangers. He had a great match with Suzuki the other night, last week on Impact. Let's go. And I'm happy for the possibilities with Jonah as well. So I think it's a good best landing spot for him. Not everybody has to go to AEW. It is the best fit there. I think this is a good example. I think that his possibilities and Impact look very good. Plus, the doors are open. Like, he still is going to do New Japan. He can do other things. I mean, Cardona's doing GCW on top of Impact, so good for him.
Yeah.
The main event was Eddie Edwards versus Moose, which after last week's Impact, because they got into it and started pulling out weapons and the whole 9 yard and shit, became a Full Metal Mayhem match, which is Impact's version, for those of you not super familiar with their terminology. It's their version of a TLC match. So anything goes, basically. Mm-hmm. And this was a lot more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. When I saw Eddie Edwards had won, I go, okay, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. No, this thing was awesome. I mean, they started off hot, like a minute or two in, the back body drop of Edwards of Moose outside the ring onto a table, and then they just kept turning up the volume from there. At one point, they had a 20-foot ladder with another ladder wedged between the turnbuckle and the ladder. Moose was on it, and then Eddie Edwards was climbing up the one side. Then Moose jumped up and got up the other side, which inevitably led to a sunset power bomb onto the ladder, which only bent 3/4 of the way and did not break and looked stiff as shit on both men. Eddie Edwards had taken a chain, wrapped it around his knee pad, and then took athletic tape and taped it up. And had done multiple moves, including his Shining Wizard with it. Mm-hmm. Tables broken left and right. Everything looking good. Kendo sticks. You had multiple baking sheets involved, and the point where Eddie was going to him with a baking sheet, and stopped and picked up another and layered it, and then picked up another. And then picked up another, and then got 5 of them, and then uses that to hit him, and sheets go everywhere. It looked great. So, gimmick match? Yeah, sure. It looked fantastic. It ends, though, with that pin being removed, because near the end, neither man could get a full 3, right? Mm-hmm. So out comes Morrissey, right? And he gets in and interferes, and the rest hesitant to count, because whatever. But Hebner starts counting 1, 2, and then is pulled out by Cardona. They both kind of get involved in the spat here a little bit more, end up taking each other out. Moose does get the victory and retains, but I think you've got Cardona firmly establishing himself in the hunt here as part of the picture. Morrissey, apparently his contract is up and they're renegotiating him in Impact.
That was fast.
That was not even a year.
That was
really
fast.
but apparently they might have done a kind of a trial contract. I remember when he came in, he was still kind of toxic in some circles. So
that's fair.
It might have been a 6-month, let's see how it works sort of deal bit. And it worked good, because apparently he's wanting good big money now and they're negotiating. So anyway, I expect him to be back in Impact because it does fit very well for him. Mm-hmm. But at least for the time being, now you got Cardona coming involved. Cardona makes more sense from a storyline standpoint, in my opinion, because he is face. So we'll see what happens. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Last thing is that Hard to Kill. Not only do they announce a couple matches, like I said, there's going to be Mickie James, Deonna Purrazzo, but we also need to know who the next number one contender is after that, right?
Yeah.
What better way to do that than the first ever Knockouts Ultimate X match?
Yes, I saw that. I knew that was going to drive you nuts as soon as I saw that.
Oh, it got me so happy. One of my favorite matches of all time. And you're going to do, I'm just wondering who it's going to be. Remember, Masha Slamovich is now part of the roster. See her in that match, You got Mercedes Martinez hanging around there. Tennille Dashwood, if she's back, she's been out for a little bit, but you've got options there. So we shall see. But that was Turning Point.
That's good.
Yes, Turning Point.
That sounds like a good pay-per-view.
It was a good pay-per-view for a little $10 jobber. Highly worth it. Like I said, these little ones tend to be the best because they're good action. They're maybe not as thrilling, shocking title changes, the whole 9 yards you have in like big pay-per-views, but it's good fun to have for 2-3 hours on a Saturday night. So, Turning Point.
Cool.
All right. Well, we got a belt to give away in Survivor Series, but we're not going to do that now.
Aww.
No. We're gonna take a pause. We're gonna step aside for a second because I want to bring you our interview from this past weekend. We did finally connect. Coming up this Friday is ThanksKILLing, Journey Pro Casey's next show. At the time of this recording, Monday night, there's still 27 tickets available. Go get a ticket if you don't have any plans for Black Friday in Kansas City, 7 p.m. Blip Coffee Roasters. Going to be an awesome time. We'll talk about it on Thursday, but we're going to talk to DJ about that and so much more right now. So let's turn it over to ourselves from a few days ago, and here is that interview. All right, guys, we are back. We are here with one of the members of the ownership group of Journey Pro. I say that now because developments have happened, but we have the fabulous Mr. DJ Stewart in the house. DJ!
Hey, what's up, fellas? Good to be here.
Good to be here. No computer troubles this time. DJ is able to make it, so.
I know I've told you this for a while. I'm going to come on, man. Yeah, I'm ready. Oh, yeah, I'll be there. I
got no power in my house. Oh, we got it.
That was a good one, yeah.
A funny story. So when you were going to be here at that time and you had the issues, right? So we were planning on it as timing, and I'm a cyclist, so I have one of my bikes set up in my living room. So during the week, I basically just ride after work, on my stationary, more or less. And then weekend I take my bikes out and about. But so I'm on my bike, and Jamie texted me. I luckily have a phone mount there, and he goes, "Hey, DJ can't make it. He's got internet issues. Go do with Walter." I'm like, "Cool." He goes, "Are you ready in 10 minutes?" I'm like, yeah. So I had a wrestling T-shirt and Lycra on. Funny enough, on our last interview with Walter. So
I
don't know what that is.
Lycra for my interview.
Yeah, well, if I would have known, I would have put my Lycra on. But thank you for joining us, DJ. We do appreciate it. You're going to talk about kind of I don't want to say the rebirth, but kind of like, the restarting, if you would. We had a little pause. Some stuff happened, and thankfully things are being ironed out. Shout out to our buddy Walter. He had, we talked about it. Some medical stuff happened, but he's doing better. And you guys are back stronger than ever, coming to you live this upcoming Friday, which is Black Friday for ThanksKILLing.
Amazing name, by the way.
I was going to say, I bet you like that one, knowing you're a horror guy, Jamie.
Oh, hardcore. Yeah. I got it, too. I'm like, oh, my God, that's so good. Yeah, Eli Roth moment there for me.
That was me, like, a lot of these have happened organically like that, where, like, we'll throw something out as a joke, and it's like, well, you know what? I like that. Like, I said it months ago as, like, we were trying to figure out, something fun. I don't know. I'm a big horror comedy fan.
Okay.
That just came to mind. I threw it out as a joke, and we moved along. And then one like morning meeting, I said it again, like literally jokingly, and then it was like.
I mean, it works.
It is kind of perfect. Let me ask you this here: what is your favorite show title that you've had? I know mine, but you go ahead.
Selfishly, I like. It's hard to really. It's between two.
Okay, well, you two. Two's fine.
It's between Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and Weekend at Journeys, just because, like, they're adjacent of pop culture. Like, direct ripoff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It like came to me in funny ways. Like while I was the weekend at Journeys, like I'm laying in bed, going to sleep, watching like How I Met Your Mother,
Okay.
and Barney talks about Weekend at Barney's, and I start laughing at that, and then I'm like, I underestimate. Wait a second. And then I have a guy like Walter to bounce stuff off of, and he's like, oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
So that, and then I kind of like the long show titles for some reason. I like.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So, like, Journey Pro presents Die Hard as a Christmas movie. It's like I feel like I'm at the guy at the end of a drug commercial where it's like may cause side effects.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost like early 2000s emo band song titles. It's like existentialism on prom night, or just like these ridiculously long titles and stuff. Jamie, what was we never talked about this? What was your favorite show name?
Well, as you know, I'm a defender of the fact that Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
You and I both, yes.
Absolutely. That one, 78 Weeks Later was a big one for me, not only because of the zombie piece, but it had sentimental value for me.
And it mapped out so perfectly. Like, if it had been a week earlier, it would have sucked.
Right?
Yeah.
Walter nailed the 78 weeks. Like that's such a perfect, like beautiful. I thought I had like a good one, and then he said that for the comeback, and I was like, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mine definitely is Die Hard's Christmas movie, because I love it.
Wait.
Jamie and I, we actually at our old job, our old place we used to work, we had this guy who definitely was of the not a Christmas movie variety. Because you have three people. There's people who don't give a shit, right? And you have people like us that vehemently defend it. That yes, it's a Christmas movie, and then those who vehemently oppose that opinion. This guy was in that last troop for sure. So we're like, all right, we're gonna get him. So Jamie and I, Jamie was a manager, and I was a level 2 at the time at our spot. So we, I worked a little later shift, and this guy left, and Jamie's like, all right,
up in the parking lot. That's what it sounds like you did.
No,
like,
no.
Late one night after he left, we met him in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to work for an Italian, I learned a few things, from Uncle Fingers, and everything.
Hey, man.
No, we
Dark Alley, I'm gone.
No, Jamie, I've got a proclivity for Facebook of sorts, I'm no artist, but I'm definitely a troll. So Jamie's like, all right, go for it. So we made, I got the poster, the original poster, put a Santa hat on John McClane, and then we printed out so many copies. I even printed out, we used like a whole toner cartridge at the office, and we plastered his cubicle with Die Hard Christmas posters, and he was not happy the next morning.
It was
beautiful, man.
We got to the full route. We even put them like inside the drawer on the inside and pasted it. You got to go all the way, man.
I love
it. They did that for when I went on vacation with clowns since I'm chlorophobic. It was awesome.
Yeah, for Young Boy, a guy used to do, Young Boy is Nick. He was with us for a hot minute on the podcast. He loves himself some John Cena. So for his birthday, we got a bunch of John Cena, and we packing taped it down all over his desk. Anywho, enough about trolling.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Journey.
I love it, man.
So, okay, so ThanksKILLing coming up. Why don't you talk a little bit about well, before we get to that, let's talk about some of the organizational changes you guys had, because brought a couple new members to the ownership group. Some people that we've already know if you're a Journey Pro fan already, but why don't you talk a little bit about that, DJ?
Absolutely. So over the last month, we did bring in 2 new owners to Journey. If you saw like the original, for those listening or whatnot, we talk a bit about it on our Facebook. There's a video with all of us. We brought on Kansas City's own Hartzell Gray. You might know him from Monarchs, Sporting, all over the radio, just all over Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
And he's an old friend, basically. I remember meeting him at Kansas Hall Journey Pro shows and just being like, hey, and hey, let's have a drink. Oh, cool. Became, kind of buddies from that. And when we had the resurgence, we were looking for somebody on the commentary table, and
Well, better than a radio guy.
Right. I was like, wait a second. We might have an untapped resource here. To reach out to my buddy. And not only is he like down, but is just down, like invested and ready to help.
That's awesome.
And so we have our first show back at Blip in an oven.
Yeah, I remember that. I sweat through 2 shirts.
2.5. He was moist when
2.5.
left.
Awesome show wrestling wise, but my God, it was hot. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was.
And that we learned after the fact that was because windows were literally replaced that day. That building never even had time to get cooled down. But so Hartzell kills it there, and somebody in attendance there is a guy named Chris Mowry, who I meet, and seems like a real cool guy, and he's telling me that he works at the Lemonade Park right down the road, and I'm like, oh man, I'm a big music guy. I love going to see live music. It's pretty much my favorite thing to do.
Hell yeah.
Even if it's like music I don't like. If you're a showman, I'll go, like 100%. So Chris is, introducing himself and real cool, and we decide, oh wait, what Lemonade Park? We can make something like that work. And again, just seems like it's going to be maybe a little one-off. Like, we're going to work with this guy on this one show, and then it's like, oh man, he's shouldering a lot of responsibility right now, and he's got a lot of ideas and this and that, and it just kind of worked out to where we started unofficially just talking all together. We started, group text and a meeting here and this and that, and then when Walter started, experiencing his issues, we had talked more seriously about, like, we could use some help. And we finally have found some people that maybe we can, not maybe, we have found some people that we can trust and that share a similar vision to us. Because as you all know, like, wrestling's weird, and what we want, Journey to be is very specific, very open and welcoming, and we want to really protect that. Like, it's a beautiful damn vibe in there.
Oh yeah.
And I wouldn't sacrifice that for anything, and those guys wouldn't either. So
cool.
One day, just a couple weeks ago, it was morning meeting at Blip, coffee. All right, boys, here's the deal. You want to join? Join. And we brought him on.
Oh yeah.
And ever since
that's awesome.
Ever since then, I mean, we've had Hartzell burning up social media, killing it for us. Chris and I have done a lot of work this week, getting the show for next week just hammered, ironed out. Moving forward, I think things are going to move smoother than ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I would like to add, like, even to your point, tactically, this move even makes that much more sense too, because like you said, you have a guy who's on the radio, so he's got those connections that way that could really help expand your brand. And then you have another one who knows how to run venues and knows how to do those things, and again, helps expand your brand, man. Like this, like when you announced these two guys, like I was on that show, I watched it live, and I was like, oh my God, this is exciting.
It is.
Because we want, like, we've already told you this, like, we are total Journey Pro marks. We are. We want you guys to be super successful, and whatever we can do in order to do that, we want it. And like the only thing I ask in return out of it is if we can make Jeremy Wyatt do a goddamn live. But that's about it.
Wyatt, dude.
I don't think the full story of this is fantastic, DJ.
I've heard a little of it. I feel like
you've heard some. We've glossed over this, but the nutshell version is that Jamie's favorite move, bar none, is a lion tamer. I've made him a T-shirt for just himself because he's that big of a lion tamer fan.
That's right. Okay, that part. I think I've asked about the shirt before and gotten the little.
So he's been trolling Jeremy Wyatt because Jeremy Wyatt comes out and Jamie loves heels. We have both do thus the Howlett inspired heel shit shirt.
Heel shit shirt.
Go Howletts.
Yeah, my boys.
He's been a big fan of Wyatt as well, and Wyatt's got a giant lion on the side of his fucking gear. So he's like, he should do a lion tamer. And Jamie is very persistent. He is not one to quit on anything in his life. So for the past three and a half years, he's been trolling Jeremy, like through the pandemic. Trolling.
It started at NWL.
Yeah,
like when he was there, it started there.
4.5 years. Sorry, he's been trolling him for years about doing a lion tamer, and it just has become its own animal.
And here's the thing too, Jeremy messed up a little bit because he recognized that I was saying something about lion tamer to him at the last show. I'm like, oh, now I know I'm in your head. I got stakes up there. I'm going. I'm turning on it. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going with the lion tamer.
I respect
I get one.
Your persistence, but as somebody that knows Jeremy Wyatt, he is also not a quitter.
I know.
Deathbed. If you were around on his deathbed and he had somebody mid lion tamer, he would give up and die instead of you seeing.
Exactly.
This is the ultimate Mexican standoff, and I love being in the middle of this. And you're with me now. Join us. This is fantastic.
So there's two outcomes I want out of this. One, a lion tamer, obviously, because I've never seen one in the wild. Or two, he gets up in my face and tells me to fuck off. Like, that's it. That's like, those are the two options I want. And like, I will feel I have succeeded as a troll if I got that. Like,
what if Wyatt pulls your chair out from under you
and put me in a lion tamer?
You guys remember the Wyatt gif where he pulled?
I do. I remember that. I think we were on the other side at that show. I think we were at that show. We were on the other side of the yeah. It was always so good, so good. All right, so I think once again, awesome. Hartzell, I'm familiar with a little bit. Chris, I think it's gonna be great to get to know a little bit better as well. But I think that like Jamie said, perfect group.
Everybody knows that Hartzell brings a million things to the table, absolutely being on the radio and whatnot. And what I'm really excited about, like with Chris, is that Chris knows how to run the production in a different way. This is a guy that has run live venues for years and years and years. So bringing Journey to not just, the hometown crowd, but to really get it out has been one of our biggest issues.
Yeah.
That we've run into. And I think Chris is an absolutely huge puzzle piece for that. And working with him this last week, like really closely, like it's been awesome. And I'm not probably the easiest dude to work with. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm a lot. Personality.
In the best way. The best way. I mean, that's really what I think that's one of the most exciting things about all this. Now that you guys have more capacity, it's not just all on you and Walter, but because of their backgrounds. Because we have a lot of viewers throughout the country and also overseas. For some reason we got a bunch of people in Germany listening to us. So, but we always talk about Journey Pro, and I think it'd be great for them to see a little bit more of it because it really is such a unique, fun, independent wrestling company.
And I personally want to see it become a Midwest staple and empire. Like, we are a destination. Like, that's what I want.
We are working on. I'm going to troll the shit out of you guys. I'm not going to put you are any kind of actual details whatsoever.
It's okay, Jamie.
We are working on something that would absolutely, like, pretty much solidify like that, I feel.
Well, Jamie's been fancy booking ideas for this for about a month, 6 weeks now, month and a half.
6 weeks. Yeah. So I will throw them out there. Obviously, you can confirm nor deny. I appreciate that. But number one is a partnership with a bigger organization. And, like, you are their Midwest affiliate or Kansas affiliate. So, like, I thought, okay, maybe Ring of Honor, since they've talked about retooling and doing some other stuff and going more that route instead of actually having the home base show. They're more everywhere. GCW's been doing that a lot too. They got the West Coast show now. So I was like, oh, maybe they do that. Or they get a home, like a legit home. Or it's a combination of both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my guess is and Jamie's more the fantasy booker, generally speaking, in our clique. I've been kind of more of the thing is like, I bet you it's going to be more permanent home. They're going to expand out on, the kind of internet bit, move, because that's what GCW did to grow, as everybody knows. They, this little hard, death match trope out of New Jersey that's the hottest thing in wrestling now. Because of the internet, because YouTube is strong. Yeah,
they lived up to the name. Game changed.
They absolutely changed it. Although you still have to pay for shirts through PayPal at their live shows. Weird. Anyway, I'm not getting into that.
Yeah.
Hey man, wrestling. Everything's very hodgepodge. You got to make things work. Okay.
I kind of appreciated that when because we went to All Out weekend and we went to GCW's 3 Cup Stuff show.
Yeah.
And so we bought GCW shirts and like it sent us to PayPal. Like, okay. I kind of appreciate it.
A lot of trust. I mean.
Yeah. Like we had to show the thing, and then we got we literally went there to go see Danhausen. Like that was the reason. It's like, oh shit, Danhausen, because we haven't seen him in Kansas City yet. Saying that now. And then
I seen a little crack, maybe a little crack in it.
Well,
he's got a little crack right now. So I mean,
yeah. Big fan. I've never denied it to anyone. Big fan. Obviously, it would be a huge hit at Journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got lots of people.
We went
present.
Yeah, we went and saw him.
You see this?
We went and saw him at GCW, and then like the next night we went for Giordano's Pizza, and we saw him out of character at Giordano's, and we actually got to chit chat with him. Okay. Super cool guy.
Like 20 minutes because we were waiting for our table, and and Jamie just goes, "That's Danhausen right there," because he had a tank top and a mask on, but a tank top, so he's shooting all his tattoos. I go, holy shit! So cool as hell. Great times.
Yes.
Who are some people other than Danhausen? I know we've got some, and we'll talk about the card here momentarily. But who are some people that we haven't had that you would like to see? And I mean, sure, you could talk about Adam Cole or Ruby Soho. Hey, Ruby, but realistic, like who would you think would be cool to see in Journey Pro?
Well, I'm trying to do this like
without tipping your. Well, I'm trying to get you to tip your hat. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I know you are, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. So I'm trying to be like, who do I want? But we've never even talked. Like, I think probably like one of the most Journey people that I could ever possibly put in a ring would be like Orange Cassidy.
Oh, dude, he would be perfect.
He'd be very Journey Pro. You're right.
And oddly, like if I'm fantasy booking like weird shit, because I love weird shit.
Do it.
I want to see like Orange Cassidy wrestle like Jeremy Wyatt, because I think that would work amazing.
Absolutely.
Because people forget that like Orange Cassidy moves like a fucking psychopath. I'm sorry if I can't cuss or whatever, but like.
Oh, you can. You absolutely can.
Cool. He's incredible, and like I would love to see that kind of thing. I'm really into that idea now. That came up to me like.
Write that down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be an amazing. Woo! Yeah.
There's some people that we've had in the past that I'm really wanting to bring back. My buddy Stephen Wolf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Do that.
And now that that's a possibility, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm trying to think of like other just weird big ones.
What about like Tony Deppen?
Okay. We didn't. Here's another one. We didn't get to do it last month, but Cabana Man Dan, I'm looking forward to bringing in.
Yeah, I saw that. I geeked out when I saw that. I'm like, oh my god, that is gonna be a great match.
Ooh, the entire like group from First Wrestling. Are you guys?
Yeah.
So Eric Cannon, Corbin, all the like.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to bring them down. If we're talking about stuff that I like to watch, like I think that what Eric does up at First is perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. So
I think Effie would be a good one for us.
Effie would be fantastic at Journey Pro.
Yep.
Oh,
absolutely. So and these are all things that we've all talked about. We've all got a nice.
All right.
I got excited about Masha. So let's talk about the card. Can we talk about this freaking card? Because you said it was put together really quick, and I'm like, damn.
Doesn't feel like it, because this is
yeah.
I know a couple of them are carryovers from
exactly,
but
that's where it became weird. Where it was like we had to try to fit like 2 shows into one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we had ideas for what this month was going to be if we would have had last. But we, you know, what can we, okay, put that there, this is now, okay, all right, yep, all here. And not only that, but in that time, people that were supposed to be here this month or last month have gotten injured or, you know, traveling or took different booking. Like these sort of things all can just change so fast, and that's wrestling for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, card thus far is Masha Slamovich versus returning Hailey Howlitzer, which that's going to be
dude. She stole the show at Weekend at Journeys. Like, my God,
oh, she was so good.
Loved her.
Heidi's awesome.
A little mad. She got kind of buried. Well, not really buried. She was, you know, on Dark recently, but she made her Dark debut. So there's that.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And then you got carryover from October was Kenny Alfonso versus, oh Jesus Christ,
KLD.
I don't know why.
I just want to call him the Letterman.
I want to call him the Letterman so bad.
Not who he is.
I so want to call him the Letterman.
Letterman!
Oh God, yeah. He's a little bit more tatted up since then.
I love you, Kev. My man.
So, Kenny Alfonso, who Jamie and I, huge fans of. That man is he's got a future in front of him. That's stupid.
He grows an ab every time I see him.
He's ridiculous, yeah.
Here now, they're starting to come out of his neck, like.
Yeah, I mean, that guy is shredded, man. He's more shredded than Julian South, man. Like, he is that shredded.
I'm not going to, like, kiss his ass too much, but he's also just a damn good person.
That's really what everybody. Dallas, when we interviewed Dallas, he kissed his ass plenty, so don't worry.
Did he? All right, well, he sucks. Never mind. Kenny.
Yeah, he hates it for being such a good dude and so amazingly gifted.
Yeah. What else we got here? Jamie, you have the card in front of you, don't you? Or
no, I don't, because I don't think it's been posted
we got
online.
Gary J versus Christian Rose, right?
Yes. Howlets versus Thumbs and Buns.
Yeah.
That's
Hashtag heel shit.
Yes.
One I'm really excited for, we've got Vinny Pacifico.
Yes.
Yes.
And Everett Connors.
Are we gonna get his wife in a Journey Pro ring sometime?
You're never gonna get me to tell you any of this.
I know. Say that.
At least off the air, maybe.
We have our ways, don't you worry. And then Jeremy Wyatt defending, maybe defend. We don't know if he's going to be defending.
We don't know. I'm on the. I think he's not. I think it's time for him to drop the belt.
For those of you watching, as of recording this, the Anarchy show where he's going up against Gary J hasn't happened. That's why we're saying
it's already happened by the time.
It has already happened. So we don't know at the time of this recording, but
yeah, we don't know.
Okay.
Jeremy Wyatt going up against oh crap.
Who is he going up against? Oh, don't do this to me.
Come on, DJ.
DJ, who is it?
Oh no, I want to see. Did you guys watch the video?
I watched the video. I didn't
memorize it. We totally didn't either jot this down either.
No,
all right,
I failed.
I can go over some things here.
Okay.
We're gonna have some graphics coming out. Probably Monday is what we're hoping.
So when this comes out, okay.
Is that okay? Perfect.
This will actually come out Tuesday, so it'll come out the day after.
So yesterday there'll be some graphics coming out, guys.
Yesterday there's graphics at Journey Pro KC.
Or Twitter at Journey Pro KC. Journey Pro KC everywhere. Just go there.
Exactly. So we've got Masha and Heidi. We've got JJ Garrett.
There it is.
JJ Garrett versus Jeremy Wyatt. I knew it was going to kill me because I knew it.
That match is
I think it's going to be awesome.
I think so.
that clash of styles. And I don't know if you guys know this. Like, I don't know if you've gotten a chance to see, but JJ Garrett can wrestle his ass off.
Oh, I've seen
He
some
is
of his other stuff he did.
amazing.
I don't know, was that Warrior or I can't remember which show.
He did one at Freelance that was amazing.
Freelance, that's what it was.
Freelance.
It was one of the
I
Chicago-based
was like, oh my
ones.
god!
But in Freelance, where it was like, and he's got the best name there is ever. So
yeah.
Oh Jesus.
And Howless is actually not Thumbs and Buns. Is that what you guys said?
I thought it was.
It was Howless and Thumbs and Buns, right?
Howless and Premiere.
Oh yes, that's the match.
That's even better. No offense.
And the Howless said they wanted that when we interviewed him like a month ago, and it's like, yes, that match.
Hell yes.
Thumbs and Buns, though. I don't know if we announced. I don't think we announced this one.
I remember you did. Hartzell announced that one.
Oh,
Thumbs
yeah,
and Buns versus somebody.
I'm really excited about this. I think this will be just a burner of a match. It'll be Jason Strife and Donnie Pepper Cricket.
Yes, Donnie's coming back. That's right.
Yes. Donnie is he's a great guy. I'm excited to have brought him in finally. We had tried to in the past, and now I'm glad to have him back for sure.
He has the best entrance song. Like, I mean, there's quite a few good ones, but I'm a real big Fish homer. You know, so.
And anything that gets the crowd going, like
I'm more punk than ska, but I mean that just it still is
Real
right
Big Fish. Like you can't get mad at Real Big Fish.
You cannot get mad at Real Big Fish. Absolutely.
I can tell a fun story about what made me really want to bring Donnie in, and it involves actually Jason Strife, his tag partner.
Okay.
So during the heat of COVID. Big pandemic, no wrestling's going on, no nothing. I'm stuck in my house with my wife, just trying to find stuff to do.
Right.
And Jason Strife, owner of Magnum Wrestling, who's on a bit of a little hiatus out in Omaha.
Okay.
Put on a drive-in show.
Ooh.
He put a ring in a field and 150 cars just surrounded it.
That's cool.
That's cool.
And it was really fun because it still got crowd interaction and whatnot. We honked the horn, bang on the roof, all that. Got a case of beer and the dog in the back seat.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. And really great event. And I'd seen Donnie before, just in local shows and Magnum, that sort of thing. But man, having him come out and horns honking to Real Big Fish and banging on the roof.
That's awesome.
Oh man.
This guy. Oh yeah. I'm going to talk to him. And sure enough, like as soon as the show ends, I try to I'm a promoter. I can be back. Hey. Jason Strife's the man, and he was like, yeah, come meet the guys that you don't know. And he actually gave us some places to go to dinner and whatnot that night. But I got to meet and shoot the shit with Donnie, and instantly just big fan of who he is as a person. And like we were saying earlier, that's like one of the biggest things to me is protecting this place, knowing that people we bring in are the right people.
Yeah, I mean, I would say just from meeting him briefly, at the show, talked to him for a hot minute, and a little bit online, like the post show that I know, I was chatting with him online a little bit as well too, and you could, if you're a fan of Journey Pro, you already know this, but there are people who are definitely Journey Pro guys and girls, right? You can tell. Like Heidi's another one that is just like, she's one of us, absolutely, right? She's got that feel, so he definitely has that feel.
He does, he does, and I knew, it was fun after his entrance. At 78 weeks, Walter comes up to me and grabs me. He's like, "You're right. And that was just like, man, if he just sat in the ring after that entrance,
I mean, yeah,
gone over like gangbusters. So.
Especially because he
wrestles his ass off, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, well, he was in a scramble match, and he's what I took away. He didn't win it, but I took away more from him from the scramble match just because his interactions were so funny, and he is so personable, and
he's got the proverbial it.
Yeah. So, well, I'm assuming there's going to be surprises and things as well that you're not going to even bother to tip your hat at. So.
We will have a scramble as well.
Okay, cool. Are the tournaments going on still with the expectation of having the championships in December?
Yeah. Yes, we're gonna clear some things out. Hopefully,
okay.
The belts might carry. Yeah, they might carry over to early next year.
Maybe push back a little bit, but
because also I'll be honest, like I'm a total dick about how things like look and whatnot, and a belt is something that I will lose sleep over. Like,
okay.
If it doesn't, represent what I've got some cool ideas. Like I'm really excited for our tag team belt. Just kissing my own ass. I came up with a cool idea for the tag team belt.
It's gotta fit. I appreciate that. It's totally. Attention to detail.
Yeah, and that's how thankfully with the new structure we can make those kind of things happen on the right timeline and without so much stress. Like I want to take this time to not kiss my own ass and let you all know that most of the things that I do with Journey, a trained monkey could do. Walter, up until this point, has been the absolute heartbeat of the company. He's the smartest dude I've ever met in my entire life, and he does things so far above my head that I could not begin to comprehend. So I'm so excited about what we have coming, not only for what we're going to bring it to the fans, but that we can take some of this load off of him, and we can all get back to the love of everything that has brought us together for Journey.
Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. He's a good dude. He's a great dude.
We love you,
I can't wait for him. Cannot wait for him to get healthy.
I'm glad he's going to be there from what he said, so I'm, not going to be working, but, so
I love you, Walter. Every day, all day. That's my brother. Wow. He's doing great.
So let me ask this real quick.
Let's go.
One more thing, and then we got to go into our impossible games.
So since it's coming out Tuesday, are you going to announce another match that you didn't announce on the Facebook? Because it'll be out by now. It'll already be out. I'm just saying, because you'll.
Jamie's just trying to generate some genuine reaction for.
I'm just hoping to hear one name. May or may not have went on vacation with the gentleman, but I'm hoping that name.
Not this one.
Damn it. Dude, love that guy though.
Hey,
he's like the nice. He remembers my face. Like, who does that?
Soon.
I assumed. I didn't say the name.
Yep, but yeah, I'll probably see him tonight, but we won't next week.
Ah.
So those of you listening and watching and don't know who we're talking about, just stay tuned. It's worth it. Trust me.
It's not hard to find either.
It's not hard to find. It's pretty easy to find. All right. So, last thing.
I went on vacation with Hoodie, too. Like, when you talk about Hoodie,
we know I got a shirt for Hoodie, so the shirt that Jamie's wearing here, we made in honor because we started the heel shit hashtag after he started tweeting out and mispronouncing their name. And I'm like, you can make it up to them. So we started tweeting everything they did with heel shit. And it became a thing between me and Jamie. So we made our own.
I tweeted once with one T. And I get buried for it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Naya, was it Naya still won't? I don't know. One of them still won't forgive him, but probably Hoodie. Anyway, it was a Naya. So, all right. So before we adjourn here and get you guys back to our normally scheduled programming, we do this thing from time to time, and we did it with Walter. We did it also when we had Dallas. We had the Howletts on here. Whenever we have a guest on here, we like to play the impossible game. We have a few different variants of that. Jamie's going to give you the first variant that we have here. So, Jamie?
Yeah. So we usually do this version of FMK, but we call it Feud, Faction, or Fire. So it's a wrestler that you want to feud with, one that you want to faction with, and one you want to fire, or you would fire.
Sounds like fun, but wait till he gets, because wait till he gets who these people are.
It sounds like fun until I have to fire somebody, and you guys are going to keep a list of my friends or something.
Yeah, so
I'm just saying.
So here are the names that have been given to everybody.
Yes, this is the same thing that Walter had, same thing that everybody has.
Well, the Howlett's got the Faces edition because
the
heels, so they had to pick a face.
Okay.
All right, so you get Gary J. You get Jeremy Wyatt, and oh my god, I'm spacing on the third one already. Gary J, Jeremy Wyatt, and Hoodie. It was Hoodie. Yeah, it was Hoodie Hallett. That's why I couldn't have him choose himself.
Yeah. So you have to feud with one, you have to faction with another, and you have to fire one.
I'm gonna go ahead and just go straight to the hardest one, and you're fired, Hoodie. You're fired.
Walter said the same
that's what
thing.
Walter did. Walter fired him too.
I can say that because Hoodie's one of my best friends in the world, and I'm much smaller than him, so he won't hit me.
You think?
You might be small, but you're one of the strongest effing dudes I've ever met with all the stuff that you've gone through, and you still kick ass and take names.
Thanks.
So.
And then I think it'd be fun to be in a faction with Gary, so I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
I think that he's a psychopath.
Yes.
He has no regard for himself or others in the best way possible.
Yeah.
And so I would love to just even be next to that. Like, oh, I don't want to be against it. Like,
yeah.
No. You know, the wrath of the stiff robo ginger. Yeah. So you're going to feud against Jeremy Wyatt then?
I guess so, but can you call it a feud? It's Jeremy Wyatt. He's like the feud killer. Like, it's just no. You mean you mean you want to match with Jeremy Wyatt?
Yeah, that's very much true.
I'll give her a shot. I'll give her the old college try.
Yeah, you get one 60-minute match with Jeremy Wyatt. Pure rules.
That's me kicking Adam Kennedy right in the balls, and then
Kennedy.
Yeah, and then calling the entire roster in to hold Wyatt down.
That's awesome.
Well, that one might have been the harder one emotionally because it was people that you know. Another version of
because I fired my friend.
Yeah, I know. See, that was easy for Walter. Walter's like, well, I would fire Hoodie, no doubt, because he always says that to quit anyway. So
yeah,
he had no problem. Just right up, fire Hoodie. All right, so that's one variant. Another variant we do is the Desert Island variant. So you are on a desert island, and you already said that you're a big music fan, much like myself and Jamie. So on this desert island, there is a music player of whatever sorts, and you are able to choose one album that will play continuously all day, every day throughout the year. So all the time, one album. And then you get the perk of listening to a single album once all the way through, once a year. What are those two albums?
The once a year is World War II, Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson's
Okay.
dual album. And okay, I think I can answer this one pretty well, actually. Every time that, like, if we have people over at the house, I turn on a playlist, and it's just literally the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack.
Oh.
Compilation album.
Nobody has gone that route. Yeah, that's smart as shit.
Well, Walter did say that's the easy route when he
did say that was the easy route.
Fucking A, man. All right, so now I got to think of something new. Hold on.
I think that's a soundtrack. So that's
him. I don't care, but Walter said it. It's like, okay, well, I got to
While he's doing that, we'll tell you what ours were so you can think a little bit longer.
Yeah,
so, okay. Jamie, you want to go what yours were?
Yeah, so mine that was on continuous was Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, just because it's easy listening. Just great.
He prefers that over the Wall. I like the Wall myself, but still. I'm
a Dark Side of the Moon guy.
Potato. It's Floyd. Whatever.
And then my one once a year or once a year or once a year.
Yeah, one listening through a year. Once a year.
Yeah. I thought I would probably want something funny because I did that, so I picked Steel Panther's Feel the Steel.
And mine was my all-time favorite band, the album that I've listened to 800 million times already. I wouldn't mind having played throughout the whole year, which is Rage Against the Machine, self-titled.
Okay.
And then my once a year is one of my other favorite bands, a band that really got me into like metal and hard rock and all that stuff. That actually from my dad of all things, Zeppelin 4.
Okay. Little fun side note. Rage's self-titled was my first CD I ever had.
Hell yeah!
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shouts out to my Uncle Patrick.
That's great. It's fantastic. I bought it 3 times over. Now it's digital, but you know I wore through 2 of them listening to it that much. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would. Okay.
All right, so your everyday album, and I guess we're going with the Walter stipulation that it can't be a compilation of sorts. Although a soundtrack, I would argue against that, but still.
Probably because of like there's a couple different tempos in it. Social Distortion, self-titled.
Oh, touche.
Like So Far Away, Ring of Fire cover, like.
Oh yeah, that's such a good album actually.
Yeah.
It was very good.
I saw them down in Springfield when I was 17 years old.
Oh,
Damn.
Social D. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
I'm old.
I might go with that one.
And there was a bunch that I was like teetering on, you know, because I was like, you know, Rancid and Wilscombe, you know, is a band. I mean, yeah, but it's like every day, all day, every day, you know. It's like, you know, so I'm trying to think about that, and you know, I was like, do you want to do any other like, what is something that I would just in general listen to on repeat anyway? That's why I went with Rage.
I get it. 100%.
But you see, impossible game. So because it's
like it's weird that like the other like things that are on there, like I'm like, oh man, it's between that and like Willie Nelson records, like Elton John, or like I don't know, man. Like,
but it's good because yours is it's got to have some sort of juxtaposition of sorts because you have the same
double album count. Could I get The Love Below and Speaker Box by Outkast, the dual print?
That's one.
I would say you buy it as a single thing, right? So yeah. I would say yes.
Yeah, now I'm here sitting like, I was like, oh shit, Outkast too? Yeah. Like I could listen to Outkast all day.
Yeah.
I'm
going to stick with Social Distortion and World War II.
Good call.
Solid.
All right.
Solid.
So good fun. Possible games. ThanksKILLing. This coming Friday. At the time of this recording, there are still a few tickets available. So I don't know how many there will be when this is released, but just go to journeyprokc.com and if there are some tickets available, grab them up because it's well worth it.
I'm buying 2 more because my daughter and her friend that is a boy, not boyfriend, are going to be coming with me. My 14-year-old, she's a collector of pay-per-view belts. She like eradicates us on pay-per-view picks.
She doesn't have all of them yet. God damn it, we do this. This is a long ongoing gag here, and she beats the shit out of us, and it gets under my skin more because she beats shit out of me. Sorry,
you shit out of you.
I have a 15-year-old girl who is my nemesis, and I can't, and I can't back it up either. So. Yeah, but
kind of amazing.
So I'm gonna razz her. But anyway, thank you for your time, DJ. I'm gonna give you a little bit. Plug everything you want. Give it all to the people right now.
All right, here I'm gonna give you a couple things that you may be able to. Hopefully, not long from now, if you follow these sources, you may see some other stuff too. So obviously, on all social media, at JourneyProKC, that's us. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. JourneyProKC.com is the website. Now, a couple other places to follow to see some Journey news. At Blip Roasters on all social media. These guys know it's the amazing coffee house we run in the West Bottoms. And I work really closely. As you guys know, I've had some crazy health stuff. I work really closely with an organization that's really been great to me and to Journey and my family and my Journey family called Head for the Cure. And they really like what we're doing. So that and all social media is just at Head for the Cure. They do some really cool stuff for brain cancer, but they've also just done some really cool stuff for us that we're hoping to bring to fruition not too long from now.
That's awesome.
Just dangling in front of you. So
Damn.
oh, links for everything.
I'm spinning now.
If you're watching us on YouTube, links for everything down below.
Cool. And here, you know what? I will. Fuck it. I'll tell you one thing. And it's big. And it's big for anybody that's watching, that's interested in pro wrestling, is we are working on multiple different possibilities of this, but early 22, early next year, if not December of this, I plan on having a training school.
All
I plan on having a wrestling ring up multiple nights a week with licensed, skilled, amazing trainers that people that are interested can come and learn the business. I think that's something that Kansas City is desperately lacking. I think that is one of the things that will help build the future and make us a destination like you mentioned.
That's awesome.
Hell yes.
I don't know. I can't tell you where because I don't know exactly where. There's options. There's lots of things in the work. But I plan on having something very, very, very soon.
That's amazing. And if you want more information, follow everything he just said. Easy enough.
Just knock the glasses off my own face. Like
that's awesome. We got a little something out of it.
Gaskosh. I'll take it.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
You're down.
Well, our time's running up here, so thank you, DJ. We do appreciate you giving some of your time here. Go follow. Like I said, links for everything down below. Go follow all the stuff. We will see you there. And also, I think you forgot one. Twitch.tv/Journey2Anarchy.
Anarchy. Let's go, baby.
Go
Journey.
Them out. Let's go.
Double, motherfuckers. It's ThanksKILLing.
All right, guys. We'll get you back to your regular program. With DJ, we'll see you this Friday. Take care, guys. That was our interview with DJ from Journey Pro. Such a great time we had with him. We tried a different recording service, and because we're trying to find a way to get better audio without paying money for something.
Yes, because we're cheap bastards.
Well, we are. Truth be told, and it was a good experience using the system we used this time. I didn't realize the free version came with an hour max, though. So, like, at the end there, I'm definitely trying to, like, let's go so we can get this in. But please, once again, links for everything DJ talked about down below in the description box. If you're listening to us, just remember what he said. Go to that, Journey Pro KC, all the places, Blip Roasters, Head for the Cure. All the places. Go check everything out. And hope to see you guys this Friday at Blip Roasters for some Journey Pro.
Absolutely. We will be in our... I'll at least be in my heel shit shirt.
I'm wearing my heel shit shirt. And don't forget, you got to bring the shirt. We're supposed to give these for the Howlets because it's inspired by the Howlets.
Yes.
I've had it sitting on my front table for like an extra month now. So anyway, yes, we'll be wearing our heel shit shirts. The reigning, defending, whatever champion of stuff is coming with her newest boyfriend, and I plan on...
They are not going now.
Oh!
They are not. He got in trouble and got put in detention, and now they are not going.
Oh, but he's a bad boy. Ooh.
Yeah. He got a detention for walking Megan to and from class and got tardies for not getting to his class fast enough. So he got tardies, consecutive tardies. So, yeah. That's sappy, isn't it?
And has she at least dumped the whole not a boyfriend thing?
Oh, no.
Or is it still...
No. Sticking to it hard and acting like I don't know what I'm talking about. It's great. It's awesome.
That's great. Well... All right, well, cool. Just you and I will be there, so it'll be good fun. But check us out. Look for our heel shit shirts. Good time. You'll talk about the other pay-per-view from this past weekend.
Do we have to?
Real fast, only because there is a toy title on the line.
That's true.
I don't have it handy. I don't want to roll over there and get it. But our WWE title. Yes, the promotion we don't watch anymore. In order to have a Grand Slam, you have to have 4
Yes.
of something. So, because I'm not gonna lie, if it wasn't for this toy title thing, we wouldn't include the WWE pay-per-views in our thing at all. Like, wouldn't even bother coming up with it. Like, to the point that Sunday afternoon, I'm texting Jamie like, "Oh shit, we need to make sure we get everybody's picks in like now."
Yeah.
Anywho, we did picks for Survivor Series. We put a tiebreaker in there. We did all the stuff and went back, and if I had to go and watch the match that we chose the tiebreaker, I would have. I still have my Peacock subscription somehow. I need to cancel.
Yeah, I have mine as well.
The thing is, actually, there's some stuff I want to see. The new Psych movies comes out this month. Anyway, Survivor Series, from all accords, was a bad pay-per-view, from what I've heard.
That's what I read too. People were like, some of the matches were good, and then the endings of these matches were god awful. That's what I heard.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna plow through the card real fast. We'll wrap it up and talk about here, but just for sake of argument, gonna plow through it. You see our record as it stands right now. Yes, my record is that bad. Shut the fuck up. Let me live. All right. Especially today, people. Jesus Christ. So,
well, today's a special day. It's your birthday.
Today is my birthday. Thank you. Yes. So how do I just celebrate my birthday? Well, with you fine folks talking about a pay-per-view where I got to try and defend my last grasp of supremacy over the Faulkner world order. But we shall see what happens. So it starts off in the pre-show, champion versus champion, because they're still doing this stupid fucking gimmick, for the show. Damian Priest, who's the U.S. champion, versus Nakamura, who is the Intercontinental champion. We all chose Damian Priest, and we all were wrong. So, not starting off hot, right?
Yeah, because he won by a disqualification. They said it was a great match until the dumbass ending, but whatever.
Oh. Stupid. I mean, Damian Priest and Nakamura, that's a match you want to see, right? Well, apparently not. Disqualification. And then you had the show open up with Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. Women's champion versus women's champion, right? Which is, to their credit, WWE's longest booking, long-term booking they have. And it's the one inconsistency with their booking, which is a consistency with a long-term story arc. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. Whether it's no kayfabe or not, because there apparently is like real heat between them.
Yeah.
It still is the consistent long-term booking that they have. And they had this match. We all picked Becky Lynch. She won in her Britney Spears inspired outfit of some sort. There was two. So the inspiration were wearing like a Britney Spears inspired outfit as well. And Becky Lynch was wearing like the red leather thing. Anywho, Becky Lynch gets the win. We all get a point. And then you get the traditional match, which I hate the point where Remember when Survivor Series was nothing but these like 4-on-4, 5-on-5 matches?
Yeah, they were great.
And there's like all these gimmicks. You had, the $1 million team and, the superpower team. And you had, just the weird cacophony of heel tag teams, the Nasty Boys and whoever, it was like all these cool gimmick things. And now they have just a traditional 5-on-5 elimination match where there's going to be one single person left over at the end. Period. That's it. No surprise whatsoever. So they had Raw versus SmackDown for the men was up next. There was lots of odd things I've read throughout both of these traditional matches. It ended with, Jamie and I both chose SmackDown, by the way. Megan chose Raw. Very important because Seth Rollins, who is on Raw, was the sole survivor. That gives Megan a leg up. And I was not watching. I had the Steelers on, but I did have this in another tab. And, during the break in the Steelers game, I'd go to it, refresh the the live results and
That's
see
what I
what
did
the
too,
next
yeah.
result was. Yeah, and I was like, ugh, because I'm looking ahead here. We have several matches where we all were the same, but I digress. We'll get to that in a moment. The next match was the one that gotten the most heat. Well, no, I don't want to say that. Is one of the ones that got a lot of heat as being terrible, and that was the 25-man battle royal.
Yeah.
Why was it 25-man, you may ask? Well, it's in celebration of The Rock's 25th anniversary of his debut.
Mm-hmm.
Now, throughout the night, and apparently before, last week on SmackDown, from what I've read, Mr. McMahon has been shown walking around with this literal golden egg. And it's apparently from The Rock's upcoming movie with Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot, which is like the egg of Cleopatra. He plays a cop, and Ryan Reynolds is like a criminal that he busts, but they team up to try and catch the bigger art thief, which is Gal Gadot, who's trying to steal this. This is the some sort of egg of Cleopatra, right? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So McMahon's walking around with this, and he's showing it off to people. Because I could not understand what the Twitter was talking about, this fucking golden egg. And I'm like, I have to look this up and see what this is.
Mm-hmm.
So some mark actually put up a good enough synopsis to kind of explain it. That this is literally a marketing tie-in to The Rock's movie, basically. With that being said, a lot of what I was hearing the chatter from like the chat on like the live result page I was watching, as well as online, that they literally spent the entire episode teasing The Rock. Not an episode, the pay-per-view. They spent 4 hours teasing The Rock's return.
Mm-hmm.
He had this egg, had all this is his 25th anniversary. They kept teasing it. Spoiler, he didn't show up.
Shocker.
What a way to just insult your audience. Mm-hmm. Really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, Vince. So 25-man battle royal because of that. And the battle royals are always tricky, because we pick a name. Who knows, right? I picked Cesaro. Jamie picked Omos. Megan picked AJ Styles. Oh, this is also sponsored by Pizza Hut, because the winner got like a pizza. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, nothing. No number one contender. No nothing. A pizza.
They got like a pizza. Almost, or Otis was eliminated by a pizza, for what I heard as well. Like R-Truth went out, got a piece of pizza, came in, tried to give it to Omos, and then he went to take it. Then he gave it to Otis, which distracted him, and then eventually led to Otis getting eliminated. So I'm glad they're still doing him right.
Alpha Academy.
In the end,
Jesus.
In the end, for the Academy, or whatever the fuck they say now.
Yeah.
In the end, it came down to Omos and Ricochet. And so Megan and I both eliminated, and Omos actually got the win. Which I couldn't believe when you picked him. I think there's no chance. Vince never has big guys win the Rumble.
Yeah.
Never has them win battle royals. They never do. It's always, they always get teased up. And I picked somebody who I thought could eliminate, Omos, right? No, you got the victory, and that's going to be very key here, because now you and Megan both have 2. I have 1. The next match, we're different on with Megan, you and I are. So I'm basically eliminated right now, which hurts me, because that means no matter what I do, you're going to go on about this whole Faulkner World Order shit. You're still not unless Megan wins all 4 belts, or you win all 4 belts. You're not getting a goddamn logo. But I'm basically eliminated. So, RK Bro versus the Usos, Tag Champion versus Tag Champion. Megan had the Usos. We had RK Bro. Riddle, Randy Orton. They get the victory. And because the next 2 matches we all have the same, this means that Jamie is going to be your winner.
Thank you. Yes.
So your whole bit after All Out about being the company man and the advocate for you as many titles as Megan does, and her NXT belt is on the line next.
Mm-hmm.
You could be taking over the ownership of the Faulkner World Order, being that you are the patriarch. That does make sense.
We're one unit, man. We're one. We are one unit. Before we decided to align forces and work together as a team, yeah, I wanted every belt, but no. We are a collective unit. We are the Faulkner World Order. We are one. There's no ego. There's no lines. There's none of that. No. We're one for all and all for one. We're Three Musketeering that shit. The Faulkner World Order has all 4 belts. We are dripping in gold. Dripping in toy gold. That's us. And JJ, what do you...
And I'm not finished here, okay? The final 2 matches were... let me at least finish this shit so we can move
do we
on.
have to?
I don't want to. The next match was widely considered. I heard people use the term maybe the worst match I've ever seen.
Oh.
Which is the women's traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. And I don't know what that means. I wasn't thinking. I mean, there's been some bad matches out there, but Bianca Belair was the sole survivor. She's on Raw. We all picked Raw. We got that right. And then you got Big E versus Roman Reigns. If you didn't think Roman Reigns was going to win, I have some snake oil to sell you.
Yeah.
Because he won. That apparently was a decent enough match that ended quick as well. Same sort of shtick.
Mm-hmm.
We picked the tiebreaker, which was the time. Thankfully, I didn't have to go back and watch that. I'm pretty sure I would have won the tiebreaker because you chose like 10 minutes or Megan chose 10 minutes even. You chose like 11 something. I chose like 13 minutes, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was at least 15 minutes, that match. So,
which is amazing.
Whatever. Yeah. I would have won off tiebreaker had we gotten there, but you had fucking Omos out of nowhere,
So, hey, you know what? As my first decree as WWE pay-per-view champion.
Oh, what is this shit? Decree? You're okay. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. As my first decree,
I want to hear what the fuck this is. Go.
I want our listeners to get on Twitter or get into the comments of this video or online, whatever, and wish JJ, the loser of the WWE pay-per-view championship belt, a happy birthday. Wish him a happy birthday. That is my decree as the WWE pay-per-view champion.
Thank you. I like how you have to throw the loser in the middle of that. Well, I do appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Champion. I know decrees were a thing for winning a single belt, but
I got half.
You now have 2 titles. You got 2 titles. You see over there next to Jamie's name, he's got 2 little icons there. NXT belt's up next. War Games on December 4th. So we'll be back with another one of these special Tuesday episodes after War Games. So keep a lookout for that. Yeah, that's all I got. So final thoughts, Jamie.
It feels great. It really feels great to be the winner. But in all seriousness, the Faulkner World Order is the faction of all factions, and we should have our own logo. And
there's one way to do that.
I mean,
there's one way to do that.
We are the Grand Slayer. We're one unit. We're the Borg.
If you would have thought about that when you made the bet, this would have been done by now.
I had
but
to have
you didn't.
my heel turn for Megan and try to throw for her, which I did successfully the first one. Because she picked the exact card I was going to pick, and I changed shit up just to get her the belt. Or I'd have 3 belts right now. But no.
And you would be inches away from getting your logo, is the funniest thing.
But I figured she's my Hogan. I'm Kevin Nash.
Oh, I hear you. Well, we'll see. It's highly likely. Remember, Megan held all the belts for forever anyway. So it's highly likely that somebody will get all 4 belts, But as determined as you are to make something happen, I am equally as determined in sticking to my commitment and will not budge on this technicality because that's what it is. It is the our word is our bond, and that was the arrangement. If a person gets all four, I'm avoiding this at all costs, folks. That's what I'm doing. But I'm doing it in the letter of the law.
Well, you know what? What do our listeners have to say about it? Do they think since the FWO has all the belts, we should have our own logo? Because if they do, I think we do it. So I'm looking to you. After you say happy birthday to JJ, you need to tell us, does the Faulkner World Order deserve to have its own logo since all four belts are held collectively within the Faulkner World Order?
Or does the logo have to wait until the agreed upon conditions of the gentleman's agreement have been met? Let us know. Comment, tweet us individually,
Yes.
however you want to do that. Let us know. But thank you for the well wishes. I do appreciate that.
Yes.
So, interestingly, we had a episode released on both of our birthdays this year.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
That's interesting, interesting. So, all right, we're going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you for sticking with us here. Hope you guys enjoyed the interview with DJ. If you enjoyed Survivor Series or anything else, congratulations.
I guess, yeah.
Whatever. But definitely check out Impact. Check out these little jobbers. Like I said, on Fight TV, I think it's the better streaming platform. Highly recommend them. So we'll be back on Thursday. We're going to preview ThanksKILling, making little tweaks they've already done to the card. Slight tweaks. Some interesting stuff happened this past weekend in indie wrestling, as well as what goes on tomorrow with Dynamite. So we'll be back on Thursday. Like, subscribe, follow, share, all the things. Thank you for any birthday wishes. Like I said, I do appreciate it. I love being here with you guys, and we will see you soon. Jamie, take us home.
All right, first, happy birthday, JJ. And if you're not down with Total Spotfest, I got 2 words for you. And new.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Bye-bye.